In other videos I've done in the past, I've gone over the pretty common hot flash triggers, which I'll just quickly review here now in case you haven't seen the other videos. But I also wanted to mention a few triggers that aren't obvious that for me absolutely affected the hot flashes I was having. So the obvious triggers are spicy food, alcohol, coffee actually can be a hot flash trigger. It just kind of increases your nervous system enough for a hot flash to be triggered. So we've got spicy food, alcohol, coffee, and sleeping in too warm of a bedroom. If you're having hot flashes at night, if your bedroom's too warm, that's not going to help reduce them. You want to make sure that you're sleeping with, if you can, with the window open and just more fresh air circulation. Two things though that when I used to have hot flashes a lot, these two things really triggered a hot flash. So the first one was, how to say it? Sometimes I wouldn't express myself. If I was angry or frustrated, instead of actually expressing my emotions in a healthy way, I would almost swallow them. I would just and I would internalize it. And as we know, you can just picture how that would feel, me describing it, it creates heat. So when I was angry, if I didn't let that person know that I wasn't happy with this or that, or whatever it is was going on, I would feel it internally and whew, there it was, a hot flash. Had I had expressed myself and not just bottled things up over and over and over again, I know I would have had less hot flashes. So the second thing is stress. Stress, and I hear this all the time with women in the program, is they recognize a direct correlation between how stressful their life is at the moment and how many hot flashes they're having. So that's why a big part of holistic healing, balancing our hormones, is reducing the stress in our lives. Now, I know that's easier said than done. We all want to have less stress in our lives, but we're in certain situations that can be very challenging. But there are ways to reduce our stress, and in many videos I've gone over them. But what do we do with stress and hot flashes? What does stress do? It heats our body up. It causes inflammation. And a hot flash, honestly, is just your body's way of coming back to balance. When there's too much heat, it has to flush out the heat. Sometimes they're called hot flushes in other parts of the world. So it flushes it out, and then it kind of comes back into balance, and then it's good for a little while. And then if something else creates heat, mainly stress, or a certain thing that you've eaten, whether it's spicy food or alcohol is very heating to the body, it's got to flush out that heat again. So those are just a few of the less commonly thought of hot flash triggers that, in my experience, really did affect the intensity of mine and the frequency of the hot flashes. Now, as many of you know, I haven't had a hot flash in many, many, many years. When I learned how to come back into balance, all my hot flashes went away. And I don't just mean I get them once in a while. I do not get hot flashes anymore. And I see this happening over and over and over again with women in the program that learn how to bring their body back into a state of balance. So your body doesn't need to flush out all this heat throughout the day and throughout the night.